Alright, it's time for a progress update on the scrapper sailboat. So last time we left, we had taken most of the deck off, a little bit on the sides, but as you can see now, made considerable progress today. This is about another 3 hours of work after the last time. Working by myself because everybody else is sort of occupied right now. Remove the heat exchanger. Gas tank is on what's left of the diesel tank is on what's left of the cockpit superstructure, which due to heavy reinforcement and lots of angles is actually kind of difficult to chop up with a reciprocal saw. Got the stern rail off, ready to be disassembled from the remaining pieces of the deck that are stuck to it. Most of the starboard side is off. Started making some cuts to get the deck of the bow off. I really have to preserve that bow rail because that's one of the pieces that I need for the other sailboat. Probably 1 or 2 more sessions and I should be down to just the lead left in the keel. Once I've got the keel taken apart, I can strip the fiberglass off of the keel. I have about 3,100 pounds of lead in there. And that's going to recoup some of the expense of this project. Probably not as much as we would have liked. We were told up to 75 cents a pound for very clean lead. I've heard in other places that because this lead has some antimony in it for hardening purposes, a lot like bullet lead does, that they may not take it for full price at the recycling places. Also, it has some bolts in the top where the keel bolts to the hull, and so they might nitpick me on that. If that's the case, then it may not even be worthwhile to strip all the fiberglass off and just take the cheaper price that's about 1/3 to 50% of the full price. But just to get it done without the extra hassle, it might be worth it. And I still have to identify this 2-cylinder diesel engine and see if I can figure out where to get a manual for it. Because that's another piece that can be recycled, repurposed, reused. To recoup some of the cost, as well as the transmission, which is apparently still in operable shape. At least it's not frozen up because I can turn the propeller by hand. So a little bit more work to do, chopping some of the superstructure. The hard parts are left where it's heavily reinforced down at the keel, the bow, and the sides of the hull, particularly where the scuppers are built. They've got a really thick reinforcement there compared to the rest of the hull. It gets very thin and then thicker and thicker for reinforcement. And then this plywood that's in here, as rotten as it is still incredibly difficult to get out because all of the edges were fiberglassed in, and that tiny little bit of fiber and resin just makes it much tougher than standard rotten plywood. So that's a situation where I pretty much have to cut all of that stuff. Anyway, signing off for now. This is an update on the sailboat scrapping project.